Hello, dear listener, and welcome to a quiet journey, far away from today and deep into the past. Find a comfortable place. Let your body sink into support. Release the day's thoughts, like leaves floating down a gentle stream. Tonight, we travel back, not to the clamor of Roman battles or the bustle of crowded forums, but to the peaceful veins, the liquid pathways, that brought life and a very special kind of quiet to the ancient world. We follow the soothing sounds of the Roman aqueduct system. Close your eyes now. If you wish, breathe slowly in and out, and imagine the water, always moving, always flowing, a constant murmur beneath the stars of long ago. Let it sound, carry you gently into rest. Main narration begins slow, rhythmic, calm pacing. Our journey begins, not in the city, not amidst marble columns, but far away, in the quiet hills. Picture this, with me. Dawn is just a soft promise, a pale light, barely brushing the highest peaks. The air is cool, fresh, smelling of damp earth, wild herbs, and ancient stone. It's utterly still, except for the sound. The very first sound of our story. Listen closely. Inside your mind, can you hear it? A soft, persistent trickling. It starts as a whisper, emerging from the deep embrace of a moss-covered spring, nestled in a fold of the hills, water pure and cold, as the mountain heart itself seeps, then gathers, then begins its patient journey, over smooth, water-worn pebbles. This is the caput aquae, the head of the water, the sacred source, untouched, vital, and humming with a quiet energy. The Romans revered these places, often building small shrines, simple niches carved into rock, perhaps dedicated to a local nymph or the spirit of the spring itself. Offerings of simple clay cups or wildflowers might be left here by country folk, grateful for the life-giving flow. The water bubbles, not with excitement, but with a deep, ancient contentment as it leaves its hidden source, beginning its long, slow descent towards the distant city. Imagine the sunlight, just now catching the first droplets, making them sparkle like scattered diamonds on the green moss. There's a soft sigh of the morning breeze, rustling leaves high above, and the distant call of a single bird welcoming the day. The trickle joins another, then another, their voices merging into a quiet, constant melody. It's the sound of beginnings. The gathered water, now a small stream, finds its way into a carefully constructed channel. This is the beginning of the aqueduct proper. Though here, far from Rome, it might be simple, a channel lined with clay, or perhaps stones fitted tightly together by skilled local hands. The sound changes subtly from the natural gurgle of the spring to a smoother, more purposeful shushing as the water glides along its man-made path. Picture the channel, cutting a gentle line through a sun-dappled grove of olive trees, their silver leaves whispering secrets to the breeze. The water moves, not in a rush, but with a steady, unhurried pace. It has a long way to go, and time is measured by the sun and the seasons, not the frantic pulse of a city. Workers, perhaps slaves, perhaps local farmers, paid by the curator aquarum, the water commissioner, move quietly along the banks, their tools simple iron picks and woven baskets for carrying earth, make soft, rhythmic sounds. Thunk, scrape, rustle. They clear fallen leaves. Check the clay lining for cracks. Remove silt that might slow the precious flow. It's quiet, repetitive work. Under the open sky, the only constant companion is the sound of the water. Beside them, a liquid whisper that never ceases. Imagine the coolness rising from the channel. On a warm day, the scent of damp earth and crushed wild thyme. Beneath their sandals, high above, a hawk circles silently on a thermal, its shadow drifting like a silent cloud across the ground, the water flows, a ribbon of cool silver, through the golden landscape, its sound a lullaby for the hills themselves. As our water journeys further, the landscape may demand a greater feat to keep the gentle downward slope, the vital gradient constant. The Roman engineers might need to bridge a valley, and so we come to one of the most peaceful giants you could ever imagine, the Aqueduct Arcade. Picture it now, not as a stark monument, but as a graceful presence in the countryside. Tall, slender arches built of warm local stone, or perhaps brick, marching in a serene procession across a green valley. They cast long, cool shadows that move slowly, like sundials across the grass below. Our water, high above now, flows silently, hidden within the spicus, the covered channel that runs along the top of this stone river. But the structure itself breathes. It hums with a quiet energy. Wind sighs softly through the arches, creating a low, resonant tone, like a giant sleeping. Listen, it's a deep that vibrates almost below hearing, but felt in the bones. Birds nest in the crevices, their chirps and coos echoing faintly within the stone vaults. Below the arches, sheep might graze, their gentle bass, and the soft tear of grass pulled, adding to the pastoral symphony. The sound of the water itself is now completely muffled, high above a secret traveler, but the presence of its journey is felt in the coolness that seems to emanate from the stone, especially in the shade of the arches. On a hot afternoon, imagine sitting against a sun-warmed pillar, feeling that cool stone at your back, listening to the wind's song through the arches and the distant, sleepy sounds of the valley. It's a place of profound stillness and quiet power. The water flows on unseen, but its path creates a haven of calm. Sometimes the land rose instead of dipping, and the water needed to go through, not over. So the Romans carved quiet tunnels through the living rock. Imagine leaving the sunlit valley and stepping into the cool, damp embrace of the hillside. The entrance, a simple arched doorway of stone, perhaps guarded by nothing but ferns and silence. Inside, the world changes. The air is still cool, heavy, with the scent of wet stone and ancient earth. The only light flickers from small oil lamps placed at intervals by the inspectors, casting dancing shadows on the rough-hewn walls. The sound here is intimate, amplified by the close walls. The water, flowing in its channel, cut into the tunnel floor, makes a soft, echoing glush glush as it swirls around slight imperfections. In the stone, droplets fall from the ceiling, plink, plink, into dark pools beside the channel. Each note, clear and separate. In the stillness, a worker, checking the tunnel, might walk carefully, his sandals making a soft, gritty shuff shuff on the damp stone path beside the water. His lamp casts his own shadow, large and flickering. Ahead of him, it feels timeless. In here, removed from the sun and the wind, the water's journey continues in this quiet, underground world, a secret current. Beneath the sleeping hills, the glush, glush, and the plink, plink become a rhythm, deep and calming, like the heartbeat of the earth itself. Listen to that quiet, underground song. After many miles, after hills and valleys, tunnels and bridges, the water finally approaches the city, but it doesn't rush in. It arrives with the same quiet purpose it has carried all the way from the mountains. First, it comes to the Castellum Divisorium, the distribution castle. Picture this, not as a fortress, but as a quiet, busy temple to water, a large circular or octagonal basin built of solid stone
perhaps lined with waterproof cement, smooth and cool. Here, high above the city, our water, finally, emerges from its covered channel into the open air, but still, within the walls of this quiet building, it spills gently into the basin with a soft, continuous sshhhh, like a sigh of relief. After a long journey, the basin is calm, a mirror reflecting the dim light, filtering in from high windows or open roof. Here, the water rests, just for a moment, settling, letting any last fine silt drift down. Then it's divided with meticulous care. Channels lead off from the basin, controlled by bronze taps or carefully calculated openings. Some water flows to the public fountains, some to the bathhouses, some, perhaps, to the emperor's palace or a favored villa. It's a place of quiet industry. The Aquarius, the waterman, moves slowly between the channels, checking flows, adjusting taps. His movements unhurried, precise. The dominant sound is still the soft sshhhh of water, filling the basin, and the gentle drip, drip, as it overflows slightly into overflow channels designed to keep the level constant. It smells clean and cool. Here, the scent of stone and pure water. Imagine the peace of this place, high above the city bustle, where the mountain water is shared out like a liquid treasure. The sshhhh is constant, soothing, a sound of arrival and distribution of life being shared. Now, the water journeys into the city itself, but still mostly unseen. Smaller lead pipes, fistulae, or channels beneath the streets carry it towards its final destinations. But one place where its voice truly sings for all to hear is the public fountain, the lacus. Imagine a simple, elegant basin of marble or local stone, perhaps adorned with a carved mask, a lion's head, or a simple spout, set into a quiet corner of a neighborhood square, shaded, perhaps, by a plane tree. The water flows continuously from the spout into the basin with a soft musical plink plink plink, or a gentle hhhh, depending on the design. This sound is the heartbeat of the neighborhood, constant, reassuring day and night. Women gather here with clay jugs, their voices a soft murmur of gossip and news. Children might dip their hands, giggling quietly at the coolness. An old man sits on a nearby bench, listening to the water and the birds in the tree. The basin might be slightly worn, smoothed by generations of hands, resting as they filled their vessels. The sound of the water in the fountain is never loud, but it's always present, a backdrop to daily life, a promise of coolness and cleanliness. On a hot afternoon, the sound seems even cooler. Imagine the splash as a jug is filled, the gloop, gloop of water displacing air. Then the steady plink 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 resumes a liquid metronome, marking the peaceful passage of time. Listen to the neighborhood fountain, a constant, gentle friend. For some, the water's journey ends not in a public square, but within the walls of a home, perhaps a comfortable domus of a well-to-do citizen. Lead pipes, smaller still, might bring water directly to a small courtyard fountain or even to a kitchen basin. Picture a shaded inner courtyard, open to the sky, a small marble basin, perhaps with a simple statue of a boy or a dolphin. Water trickles softly from its mouth into the basin below. Drip, drip, drip. The sound is contained, intimate. The courtyard is cool, filled with the scent of damp earth from potted plants, perhaps rosemary or violets. A cat might be curled, asleep, on a warm flagstone near the basin, undisturbed by the gentle sound. In the kitchen, the water flowing into a stone sink makes a soft sshhh as a servant fills a pot for cooking or washing. The sounds here are domestic, peaceful. The water, now fully integrated into the quiet rhythm of home life. It's a sound of comfort, of cleanliness, of coolness within private walls. The drip, drip, drip of the courtyard fountain is a lullaby for the sleeping cat, and perhaps for the family resting in the shaded rooms around the courtyard. Imagine the coolness, the quiet, the gentle, constant presence of the water within the home. And of course, the water played its most public and perhaps most relaxing role in the baths, the thermi, but even here, amidst activity, the water sounds were often deeply soothing. Imagine not the crowded, noisy main pools, but a quieter corner, perhaps the tepidarium. The warm room, steam, rises gently, softening the edges of the marble benches and pillars. The air is warm, humid, smelling faintly of minerals and clean heat. Water flows softly somewhere nearby, perhaps in a small channel, around the edge of the room, or from a discreet spout, filling a basin for washing. The sound is a low, constant, or a quiet gurgle, muffled by the steam and the soft echoes of the vaulted ceiling. It's a sound that encourages letting go, sinking deeper into relaxation. The heat seeps into bones, the steam clears the mind, and the gentle unceasing of the water becomes a soundscape for quiet contemplation or drowsiness. Imagine lying on a warm bench, eyes closed, listening only to the water and the soft, distant sounds of other bathers moving slowly through the mist. It is like a warm blanket for the ears, a constant, comforting presence in the heart of the bathhouse. It's the sound of warmth and weightlessness. So, the water that began as a whisper in a mountain spring travels, flows, descends, unseen, seen, muffled, singing, always moving, but always with that gentle, persistent rhythm. It flows through stone and brick and lead. It flows beneath fields and hills, across valleys, into cities. It fills basins, public and private. It cools, it cleans, it quenches, and always it makes its quiet sound. The trickle of the spring, the shush of the channel, the wind hum through the arches, the echoing glush in the tunnel, the settling sshhhhh in the distribution castle, the musical plink of the fountain, the intimate drip in the courtyard, the muffled gurgle in the warm baths. All these sounds are threads in a single, endless, liquid melody, a melody that played night and day for centuries in the heart of the Roman world. It was the sound of engineering, yes, but more, much more. It was the sound of life sustained, the sound of quiet order, the sound of coolness in a warm land. It was a constant beneath the louder noises of human life, a reminder of nature's patient, persistent flow. Listen now to that ancient melody. Imagine it flowing, not just through Rome, but through time. That same gentle, constant movement of water, finding its way downhill, always towards the sea, but pausing along the way to sustain and to soothe. Final minutes, deepening relaxation, lengthening pauses, focus on sound imagery. Let that sound fill your mind. Tonight, let go of the images. If they fade, and just hold the feeling of water flowing gently, steadily, without effort. Picture darkness, cool and quiet, like the inside of a tunnel, lit only by distant starlight reflected in the water's surface. The soft glush, 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 echoing softly around you. A single plink, as a drop falls from the ceiling into the dark pool beside the channel. Feel the cool, damp air on your skin, the weight of the earth above, holding you safe and still. The water flows beside you, a companion in the quiet dark. Its journey is long, but it moves with such unhurried certainty. There is no need to rush, only to flow. Like the water, you can let go, release the day, like silt settling to the bottom of a deep, calm basin. Feel yourself settling into rest as the water settles after its journey into the castellum. Soft, calm, still, the gentle shh of water, filling a quiet basin in the moonlight. High above, the city sleeps, and the stars turn slowly. The water's song is the only sound, a lullaby for an empire. And now, for you, listen to the quiet shush of the channel. In the hills, listen to the deep of the wind. In the arches, listen to the soft plink, plink, plink of the neighborhood fountain. Let them blend into one soft, continuous murmur, a sound as old as the hills, as constant as the stars flowing around you, through you, carrying away all thought, all tension, leaving only peace and the gentle rhythm of water moving slowly downhill towards the sea and towards sleep. Let the current carry you deeper and deeper into the quiet dark, where the water flows and all is calm. Your eyelids are heavy, like smooth stones in the channel. Your breath is soft, like the breeze over the spring. There is only the sound, the cool, dark, peaceful sound of ancient water, flowing, flowing, flowing. Let it flow through your mind, washing everything else away. Just water and stillness and sleep. Flowing, flowing, flowing deeper down. Flowing. Whisper. So deep down. Sleep now. Softest whisper. Let the water carry you away.